Mai-Liis. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great too. I'm
Actually,
going
I'm
to
saying,
say it week number 66.
okay. And actually, I'm gonna say, I'm saying I'm doing great, but actually, I'm doing kind of
Weird.
icky.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
We
it's
just,
been a weird week last week.
well, we just had that discussion, but I mean, nobody wants to say, oh, I'm not feeling good and this and
Right.
that.
You
Like, we
say,
always
oh,
want to say,
I'm
yeah,
doing
I'm
great.
good. I'm good. And that's the problem sometimes. People do say I'm good when they're not. But
Yeah.
yeah, we had both had a kind of a strange week. So tell me
Well,
about yours.
well, the allergies were super high last week, and so I usually try to stay away from taking anything for the allergies. It's usually bearable, but last week was just god awful. I don't know if you guys have allergies and you felt this way, but last week was just god awful. So I've been taking Claritin and Mucinex D all week, and Saturday was just the most god awful day. I don't know. Like I posted something on Facebook, and a lot of people had a different theories as to why, but my anxiety level was at an all time high. I've never felt like this, on edge, like waiting for the other shoe to drop,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Um, I was just feeling really weird on Saturday, and some people were saying allergies would do that because they were really really high, and
Mhm.
and other people were saying, hey, we had a solar eclipse, so maybe that's what's going on. Some other people even suggested I might be bipolar, so who knows?
Yeah, talking about allergies, I'm all equipped myself with my Kleenex just in case, because it's
Yeah,
the same, and my head is kind of heavy, and I don't know. It's just, again, there's something going on, something in the air. But we did get some rain. I was like,
finally.
did you
Yeah.
hear the thunder and the
Yes, I
lightning?
did overnight. It was really, really loud. Really
Yeah,
loud. It was
and then I was happy to see that the ground got some water. So
finally.
super dry. It was just awful.
Yeah. It's funny because I know, like, the way I know if my ground needs water badly is because I'm putting those signs outside, right? So I have
Hmm.
all those signs for people to come and pick up. By the way, we have those big signs that say thank you essential workers. You can come and grab one up from the lawn at the Seeker office at 327 2nd Street East. They're free. We accept donations. You can slip a donation in the mailbox if you want. It's a locked box, so there's no problem there. But anyway, so I put those signs there, and after rainfall, it goes in
Hmm.
really nice. Well, should have seen me on Saturday, and like I was trying to hammer this thing in, it was just not going in at all. This ground was just packed. It was like cement,
Was
cement,
like, yeah,
cement. Yeah,
cement, like
cement. My
for
French peeking out today.
cement. I like that, cement.
Cement, cement. Okay.
Every now and then, one of those words pops in.
Yeah,
Oh my!
sometimes it's embarrassing.
How do you say that? Aluminum. How do you say aluminum?
Aluminum,
Oh, you said it.
as
Aluminium.
aluminium.
My dad, with his accent, when he says that one, oh my God, it's so funny because it's one of those words he has a hard time
Yeah,
pronouncing.
yeah. How are your parents? They're doing good.
They're doing all right, Julia, but I mean, my dad ended up in the hospital
Oh,
Saturday night in Ottawa.
oh, what's going on?
Well, he has
Fever?
been, he keeps getting a fever. He seems okay during the day, and then around 3 o'clock it starts going up. And he was told that if it goes above 38, he has to be taken in.
Yeah.
So my sister drove him up to Ottawa, and they kept him overnight and did all kinds of tests.
Mm-hmm.
Just for anybody that doesn't know, my dad has cancer of the blood. So he's got a condition that can be treated but not cured. But so we're not sure, because last time it happened, he did have an infection. They put him
Mm-hmm.
on antibiotics, and they did that again this time, but all his blood tests came back okay.
Oh,
Everything is good. So they're doing the antibiotics just in case. And so
prevention.
hopefully in
Yeah.
about 48 hours, it'll kick in. But when you have a low grade fever, I mean, 38 point something is not low,
It's
but
not.
it's
Yeah.
just feeling crappy and no energy. And so I'm
Yeah.
hoping it blows over sooner than later because he's just getting really worn out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he gets home soon. Is he
Yeah,
back
he
home now?
is.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
so
home. They
good,
they took
good.
him up, and my sister and her husband and my mom came home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then my sister they went back up to get him at 7:30.
Okay.
So they didn't have too much sleep either, but
Yeah. Well,
but at least he's home, and everything is good. My mother is less stressed that way, but
yeah, yeah. Are they allowing people to go in with
yeah, my sister actually
patients now?
was able to go with him because my dad is hard of hearing. So
Yeah,
of course, when they have the mask on, that's even worse
yeah.
because he can't lip read either. So they're letting one person. My sister was able to go.
So things have started reopening in Ontario, and on last Friday, the patios were allowed to reopen. Yay! Oh, it's so
Yeah,
pretty downtown. Like you're driving all around. I mean, it's not even just downtown. You go in Brookdale too. It's full of patios, and the city of Cornwall has allowed restaurants to expand
yeah.
on their patios space, like taking some of the sidewalk space
Mhm.
and like they did last year. But I think more restaurants are going to take advantage of it this year. Anyways, it's just gorgeous. Like you go downtown and I wish it would be like this all the time. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday too because you've got Spinners had their patio open in Mexicali's, and it feels like there's life coming back to
Yes,
downtown because
absolutely.
I love to walk and I love going down there, but it was like there was nobody. It was like a ghost town for so long.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's nice to see life and people, actually sitting and enjoying the weather because
mhm.
we've had such a great month of June. Like, I mean, we can't complain. I'm getting tanned. I'm having a nice little tan now. My husband is like super dark, but
Yeah, well,
yeah, the
he's
weather was
got
just
darker
awesome.
skin already, so he would just get darker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, he gets really dark in the sun. But yeah, no, it's nice to see all that happening, and I can't wait to go on a patio. And now that I'm vaccinated, I think that I'm going to be okay to go in the near future. Um, I don't know when the second dose is coming. I know that last Thursday I took my 12-year-old and my 16-year-old to get vaccinated, so they're all done. And on Saturday I took my 20-year-old. Here's the other one. That's the one that can't get it. So he's so sad. But anyway, so I took my 20-year-old to the clinic, and so I think only Kyle is missing. So out of all of us, like his girlfriend got it on Saturday as well. So
Mhm.
out of all of us, only Kyle is missing. And once he's vaccinated, then finally we'll be able to gather all together and safely and have a barbecue and whatever.
You know what though? I don't know how if I can
Well,
feel quite like that because I'm still a bit leery on it. I know I had some running around
I
to
am
do.
too. I am too because this Delta variant is really
Oh,
scary.
yeah,
Like there was news last week of a hospital in
Edmonton.
Edmonton, I think it was, right,
Hmm.
who had an outbreak of 33, and 10 of them were fully vaccinated, and they got it anyway. So it's a matter of how sick were they. Like we
Yeah,
don't know that yet, but if it creates something that you have barely symptoms, like it's well worth taking the risk, because this is getting ridiculous, not seeing anybody like that all the time.
I know my mom got her
It's like,
second shot on Saturday.
oh, yay.
So of course, then we were kind of worried because then she's heading up to Ottawa because she's worried about my dad and this and that. So we were same time worried about her because what if she had a reaction? She had nothing at all. She was completely fine.
Oh, wow,
She
that's
she
great.
felt fine, and this was the second dose that
Yeah, and
you
that's the
kind
one
of
that they
hear.
say They call it, they actually gave it a name. They call it the Pfizer flu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So they call it the Pfizer flu because apparently you get the, and I have a friend of mine who got her second dose, and she got really, really ill, you know.
Yeah, me
So,
too. Me too. And that's what scared me. Got a friend too. She's a nurse, so she had her second dose earlier on, and
mhm.
she actually thought, not nice to say, but she thought she was dying. She
Oh,
said it was
wow.
so bad. Anyway, it looks like our guest. I don't know if you want to look out for her.
Okay.
She is going to
I
join
will.
us.
Okay. So I'll keep an eye. She's not backstage yet, but we'll talk to Tara today, right?
Tara Francis is
Okay.
going to join us, and she's had surgery on her leg and she's in a lot of pain, so that's why she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to join us or not. And I can relate, because when I broke my leg and in the healing process, there was honestly days that I'd rather have had three children, like had three childbirths, rather than that pain, because it's just, I can't even imagine, like I can't even describe it.
Yeah.
Super, super painful. And that's how she woke up this morning. So
Hmm.
hardly been able to walk, but she's a trooper and she's going to try and join us. So,
That's good. That's good. So Tara's going to talk about.
well, she's going to talk. Last week, when we found out about the 215 children, of course, it was a walk, and Tara was the organizer of the walk itself. But she was not able to do it. She did the walk, but in a wheelchair, because she had just had surgery. So she was the person that organized the walk. And again, she just what needed to honor all the children whose bodies were found, and all the survivors, and the everybody that didn't come home from the schools. But
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it was a big thing when that was discovered. But
But it's
putting
just
it
just a tip of the iceberg, really. Eh? So,
exactly,
and it's
exactly,
about where do we go from now, and
exactly.
uh, continuing the efforts to raise awareness. So I think that's a lot of what Tara does. She's there, so I'll invite her in the feed. Just one sec. Good morning.
Morning, ladies. How are you?
We're good. How are you? I know you're in pain, but
So
Yeah, it was pretty bad last night, but I'm okay right now.
you took some pain pills, so it'll help.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Oh,
So you're the organizer of the march. You're the person who initiated the movement, right? So I've seen your post way early when you were saying, okay, let's do this, and trying to rally the troops. What made you want to do this?
It was just like the Saturday and the Monday, or sorry, the Sunday and the Monday, reading all the posts about the 215 remains that were discovered. And at one point, I just sat there and I was like, I have to log out of social media right now. It's too heavy. It's like depression is starting. Like, I just feel so sad. But then I couldn't stop reading. Like, I kept reading, and then I was like, something needs to be done. We need to talk about this. Awareness needs to be brought about it. People need to know that all these years that our elders have been speaking out about things that happened to them at school when they were little, whether it was the residential schools or the day schools, because there was a day school initiative too. It was the same thing as residential schools, but the children were able to go home. So they weren't taking away from their homes, but they had to go to school and be taught by priests and nuns. And I just posted on social media and it blew up from there. Like, I was just like, hey guys, I'm having surgery on this coming Wednesday, but I really would like to see a walk happen, and a memorial walk, not a protest, not anything malicious. Just let's honor these children that were just found, because there's going to be more children to come.
mm-hmm.
And I had one lady jump in right away. She was like, I'd love to help. I'm like, sure. Georgina's daughter had tagged Georgina in my post, so I started talking to Georgina. She told me she set up at the St. Columban's Church. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'll come and I'll talk to you. I'll bring some shoes and some clothing from my children, because I do have three children, 14, 9, and 4. And I brought my daughters there, and just set off from there. People were responding to my posts, people were sharing it, and I had four amazing ladies helping me in the background. Like, if it weren't for them, I probably would not have been able to do the walk when we did and as fast as we did. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was really a fast turnaround. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, it happened, and the next Saturday, like I couldn't believe when I saw the date. I said, "Whoa," you
yeah.
know.
4 days of planning. The first thing I did, whether people had reached out to me or not, was I contacted the city and I contacted the police just because I didn't want anyone to get in trouble because I knew we were just going to be dropping out of the lockdown phase and
Mm-hmm.
for the phase one to begin. And I just wanted to make sure that anybody who had attended, nobody was going to get fines or and it wasn't going to be like against the law or anything. So,
Right, right. Yeah, it's something else to organize a walk during a pandemic, eh?
yeah,
So you said something about reading all this news and feeling sad, and I can only imagine. Like, I felt sad all week. Like, I really this news really disturbed my soul,
yeah.
and I'm not even, like, I'm not native or anything, so it's really, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So I know that you're trying, like, the walk is done, you've done that, and that's great. But where do we go from now, and what are you doing now to make change happen?
Well, there are schools that are being investigated now, mainly out west right now. There's over 400 bodies that have already been, like, remains that have already been discovered. So it's the number is going to keep climbing. And I think people are going to continue to be shocked. Me, as an Ongwehoe, a native of Canada, I'm not shocked because I've heard the stories all my life. Like, I've heard people talking about it in my reservation, nobody really talks about their experiences. I just turned 36 June 3rd, and on Saturday was the first time I have ever had confirmation that anybody in my family attend residential schools. My great aunt, I actually, if you go on my Facebook, it's my Mohawk name, Gushaniosta, but I shared her interview she did with Standard Freeholder, and she's the one who told me her father had gone to a residential school in Spanish, Ontario. So that would be my great grandfather. He was the last generation to go, and then the 3 to 4 generations after him had all attended day schools. My older brother, he is a year and 6 months older than me. He told me on the weekend, Saturday after the walk, him and his family had joined as well, that his first year of school was at the day school on a reservation. That blew my mind. He's a year and 6 months older than me.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you could have almost been going to those schools.
For sure. And I, like, Saturday, just talking with the organizers, like, I can't thank everybody enough for being there and helping with everything and everyone who participated. It was so amazing. I had to hold back my tears the majority of the day because just the support from the city, the support from Akwesasne, hearing Georgina's story, to me, it was very important that she got her story out there because at the time I didn't know that I was a great granddaughter of a survivor. And I would like to see the walk turn into an annual walk to continue to show honor to these children and to the survivors, the ones who have passed, the ones who are still here with their wounds that just reopened with the discovery. And I think it would be very nice to do an annual walk for them. I am doing a t-shirt fundraiser, so all the proceeds for the t-shirt fundraiser are going to go to the Mohawk Institute Indian Residential School, which is in Brantford, Ontario. They are actually restoring the building so they can continue to do tours. And within their tours, they educate their tour groups what happened there, what was done to the children, the experiences. They do tell some survivor stories. I know they have an annual survivor memorial there as well. And I wanted to donate the proceeds there because I think that's very important that they continue to do that and continue to educate. And the most important thing for me with this, with standing up for everything, is that awareness, like, not to be angry, not to be hostile, just awareness and education. I would love to see in the future generations in our education system that they teach Canada's history with the residential schools intertwined.
And it's more than that. I think that the whole history of Canada, like, it needs to be told the way it happened, not embellished, not rewritten to suit white people. It
Yeah.
needs to be told the way it happened.
Yeah.
So okay, so the Mohawk Institute Residential School, where is that located? Is it in Ontario?
Yeah.
It's in Brantford, right?
Okay,
And
yeah, that's
that
super cool.
from Six Nation have already made a request to the government to have like the technology, the radar technology to do the sweeps of the grounds to try to discover any remains there. I have made a post on my Facebook. I haven't been able to contact our local chiefs in Akwesasne yet. I do know at the end of June that it's going to be new chiefs because a new election is coming. But I would love to see our chiefs in Akwesasne reach out to the government as well, calls of actions to aid in the search with Six Nations, not against, but with, like, we all have to come together as one nation and get these schools investigated and find all the remains we can, because all those children do need to make their journeys back home.
So
Exactly.
My-Liis and I were speculating before we went on air. We were talking about why we didn't hear about this before and why people did not speak up. And we were talking. I was saying that, you know, it's when the institution is against you to begin with, it's kind of hard to want to take it on, even if you're a lot of people. But in your opinion, why is it that it took so long for people to actually speak up?
People have been speaking up for quite a while, actually, but everyone says, "Oh, it was so long ago. Why don't you let it go?" Or that never happened. You're lying. It never happened. I lied about it. I mean, like, look at after the discovery, Pope Francis couldn't even apologize. He just said,
Yeah.
"Heart is saddened." Okay, your heart is saddened, but it would have meant a lot to the Native people all around the world if he would have said, "I'm sorry for what the Catholic did to your people, not just my heart is saddened."
Right.
And I do know, I had a lady reach out to me. I'm not going to give her name just because it was a personal conversation between me and her, but she called herself a whistleblower and she gave me a few other names from 2008. And
Wow.
that the government actually went after them and made it very hard for them to get jobs and everything after. So the government pretty much hushed them.
So yeah, that's what happens. It's just like when the government wants somebody silenced or, you know, something swept under the rug, they're pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly what we discussed.
Yeah.
I think it was earlier on in the week, Parliament called a meeting to discuss what they were going to do next with the residential survivors about the settlement, because they have blocked quite a few natives from actually getting the residential settlement, a lot from the St. Anne's residential school. That one is in Ontario too, as well. I just don't know the exact location, but they blocked like hundreds and hundreds of claims and only accepted 5. So the cabinet was like, let's do something about this. Like, this is horrible. We need to do something. We need to do better. Trudeau didn't even show up. He was called to show up and he didn't show up for the vote. So the entire vote was unanimous. They all voted yes, they're going to do something to help and to stop blocking the settlement claims. And even just over the last couple of days with the other counts coming out, there was one in Brandon, Manitoba, there was 2 in Saskatchewan, so that puts us, I believe it's just a little under 400 or a little over 400 remains at this point. And learning about the vote and everything and Trudeau not showing up, I've kind of reached out to people I know that did like native pride walks in Ottawa. And I was like, I think it would be amazing if we could flood Parliament Hill with orange shirts. That if we get something started and a date, like preferably in a month, so I can participate with, like, sometimes it's touch and go. Sometimes I can participate and stuff, sometimes I can't with the pain. But I just think it would be so amazing if we could get hundreds and hundreds of orange t-shirts, people with orange t-shirts just on Parliament Hill just for support.
I agree. Well, I did do the walk. I actually did the walk, the 215 steps, and it was amazing because you look ahead of you, it's orange shirts. You look behind you, it's orange shirts. And like you said, it wasn't a demonstration. It wasn't a protest. It was so natural. Everybody just walked together in unity. It was just wonderful. It was a really well
Out of
done
that,
walk.
oh, it made my heart so full. And then Sunday night was when my great aunt had actually reached out to me and we talked, and she told me about her interview that she did. So I went and read the interview that she did, and in there she talked about her and some other elders from Akwesasne. They actually did a ceremony for the Kamloops 215, and in that ceremony the children talked to them, and they said they didn't want people to be angry. They're in a better place. Don't be angry. And they said plant white flowers. That I automatically started tearing up. I had no idea about this interview before Sunday, and the walk was held on Saturday the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I kept like telling myself, I said white signifies honor, and we need to do flowers, drift them in the ocean to represent those children and more of the children that will be found. And it was kind of just calling me. It just kept saying white flowers, white flowers. And then when I read that interview, they wanted white flowers planted for them, and they were asking for moccasins. So
Oh.
I've had a lady from Seaway Valley Health Unit reach out to me. They want to do something in conjunction with Akwesasne for support and just a donation for what the community needs. I'm in talks with Akwesasne Child and Family Services, and we're thinking about that it would be appropriate to provide the community children with moccasins. So I'm going to reach back out to Seaway Health Valley and see if that's something they would like to do.
Wow. Yeah, because the white flowers, that's what we all put in the water at the end. That's wow. That's almost gives you goosebumps because you didn't know about that.
I had no idea about
Wow.
what my great aunt had did, and when I read it, when she told me about it, it brought me to tears. I was like, wow, it's not a coincidence. That was supposed to happen.
Now, Mai-Liis believes in that a lot. Everything happens for a reason.
I do, and I even put that in the message this morning to you on Facebook. You know, don't worry if you're in too much pain. Everything happens for a reason. But we're so happy that you're able to join us today.
Yeah, me too. Like I've been telling people, I comment on stuff on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and I see a lot of posts where people will say like ban churches or let's burn the churches and F this and F that. And I'm like, well, that's not what it's about, guys. It's about recognition, education, like it's time for the true awareness of this to come out. And this time we're not going to let the government hush anybody and sweep it underneath the rug. Like, it's really time for people to know that this happened in Canada, that day schools were a thing, that the 60s scoops was a thing. Like, there's so much that people need to learn about the true history of what happened when it's like, what, 155 plus years ago Canada was built. And all of this was going on even before Canada was their actual own country. So,
Did you hear about the movement right now that's going on about canceling Canada Day?
Mhm.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
So I'm kind of divided on that. I do think it's important that Canada has its own recognition for being its own country, for their men going to war and fighting for the freedom of their country. But I do also think it's important that, like I said, people know the actual real history of how Canada was built. I think it was like 7 years ago, whenever people were really attacking the Muslim community in Canada, when in Ottawa, there was an army guy who was shot, and I guess it was by the Muslim community, and people were saying, oh, Canada wasn't built on mass bombing and death. Like, And even then, all of us natives were like, actually, guys, like residential schools, that's Canada was built with residential schools. That's the first prime minister's initiative, was to assimilate all of the indigenous in Canada and make them like everybody else. They didn't want us to have culture. They didn't want us to have our own language, our own religions, our own ceremonies, or anything like that. They wanted us to be just like every other Catholic or Christian or Anglican Canadian out there.
Yeah.
And like, I think it would be amazing if people would fly our flags, whether it's Confederacy flags, the warrior flags, or other nation flags, because there are multiple nations in Canada. It's not just First Nations, it's not just Mohawks or Crees, there's multiple. But at the same time, too, like, I do think it's important that Canada celebrate its birth as well.
My big issue with all these things that people are doing right now is that it seems to be um I don't know if the intention is at the right place, if you know what I mean. I don't know that they really truly feel that this should happen, or if they're doing this just because, hey, let's just shut up the people and,
Mm.
I don't know. So I'm kind of iffy with all of that too. But
We're also in a new society where it's called cancel culture, and people like to cancel things.
yeah,
And I necessarily agree with that. Yeah, there are some people that need to take accountability and need to own up to their actions, whether they were directly involved or not. And I just don't agree with cancel culture. I do, like I said, I do think it's important that Canada continues to celebrate its birth, but it also is equally as important that the true history get out there.
Mhm.
absolutely. It's to me, it's too little.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot more work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
So tell me about that fundraiser. Where can somebody get a shirt?
I do have a post on the Cornwall page. It's just a pre-order. That way, if somebody actually really, really wants a shirt, then they'll for sure have their name, their size. We are doing basically newborn up until 24 months, 2T to 5T, youth extra small to youth extra large, women's extra small to women's extra large, and then we can get 2X and 3X women, and same thing for men. So extra small to extra large, 2X and 3X. The children and the youth are going to be $10 a shirt. They are going to be orange. It's going to have the owl with the heart on it. And then it's going to say all children matter instead of the 215. Because on the walk, I and me and some other organizers and family members had the 215 shirts. That was because it was in memorial of the 215 children. And the fundraiser I'm doing now is just in memory of everything, all the survivors that have passed,
Mhm.
survivors that are still here, the children that have been found so far, all the other children who are waiting to be found. And the adult shirts are going to be 20 up until extra large, and then 2X and 3X will be 25. They can comment on the page. They can send me a message. If anyone wants to send me an email, it's my name, Tara period MK period FRANCIS at outlook.com. Just let me know your full name, first and last, how many shirts you want, the size, and I'll reply back with your total. I will be giving receipts out. And like I said, all the proceeds will be going to the restoration process for the Mohawk Institute, so that way they can continue to do their tours and educate the communities.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because that's what we were wondering, where the proceeds are going, and that's a really, really great cause, because
Yeah.
people do need to know.
For sure. I do hope that I'm hoping for towards the end of this month that I can get a virtual tour set up for everyone to see the grounds of the school. And they are planning on reopening in 2022 for actual physical tours of the institute. And it's been calling me ever since I started reading about everything. Like, I have to go there. I have to. I know, like, it's going to overwhelm me and I'm going to feel all the sadness, but I just have to go there. I have to actually set foot on the grounds and get a feel of it to really understand what went there. And
Yeah.
I just felt that the 215, we honored them, but we need to go further. We need to look into the other schools and awareness that it's not just the Kamloops 215 children. There's so many more out there, so many other schools. Not a lot are standing, a lot have been taken down, and there's plaques where they were to
Mm-hmm.
let you know like what the school was, how long it was operating, but there's still the school grounds that need to be searched.
Mm-hmm.
How many schools were there altogether at any
Um,
given time?
Then in Canada, there was, I think, approximately like 147, if not more. In the States, it's not talked about as much. I actually haven't done any research into the States yet, but I have heard that there was over 300 residential schools in the States.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's. I hope that you get what you want. I hope that you get where you want to get, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help. We'll gladly just help you promote your initiatives and efforts. Just send us an email, and we'll post it on our Facebook page and on our website.
Yeah, because all these children and the parents, they need
Mhm.
closure. They definitely need closure.
Like my
Absolutely.
great grandfather, I never got to meet him. He actually passed away in his 40s. He was very young. He was in a car accident. My great aunt that was started to open up to me and tell me about everything a little bit, as much as she could handle. She was only 10 years old when her father passed away. So,
Oh.
yeah,
Well, and that's the thing too. All these survivors. It's something that they probably repressed so far that it's painful to talk about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
painful to bring back the past. Sometimes they just want to leave it where it's at, right? Because yeah, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to do what you guys are doing.
for
So
sure. I
yeah,
do know a lot of survivors won't talk about it. And if they do, they try to remember like
the
the
good things.
Mm-hmm.
my great aunt had said like her father played hockey and he really loved playing hockey at the school and he had good loving memories there, but there also was the bad memories that they don't want to talk about because it's reopening their trauma, their pain, their wounds. And a lot
Exactly.
of them just will, they hear the name residential school and they break out in tears.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Tara. Like I said, just send anything our way. We'll help your cause.
For sure. If you guys had wanted to make a post for the t-shirts, we could get that started too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Would have to check it routinely for the orders. And thank you guys for opening up the platform for me and letting me continue to bring awareness because I know a lot of places it was all just about the Kamloops 215 and it started to die down. And I
Yeah.
don't think it should start dying down. I think this needs to be a process over time. And like
Yep.
I said, love to see orange shirts flooded the Parliament grounds. That would be amazing.
Awesome.
And that's why we were really happy that you could join us because it isn't just about the 215. It's about continuing to spread the awareness.
Yep. And we'll check back with you in the future.
Good.
And I'm hoping you start feeling better because I can relate to pain with a broken leg or surgery. It's really not good.
Staples out next week, or actually, sorry, this week. I keep saying next week because my days are all kind of jumbled into one because I'm doing the same thing every day, but I get them out on Thursday. So I'm hoping things will be a lot better from Thursday on. So,
Mhm. Awesome. Well, you have yourself a great day.
you,
And a super duper week. And thank you for joining us.
thank you for having me.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh wow. I'm still teary.
I don't know. Every time I hear the name institute, even like I don't know. School is one thing, but they were referred to also as institutes. It just sounds like such a horrible word. Just,
Yeah.
it's, and like she was saying, she has young children too. And we have children and to have our children taken away and then not have them come home. Like I just cannot imagine.
Well, can you even imagine being a parent? Like, I mean, we're talking about a completely different day and age, right? Like, there's no internet, there's no messaging, there is no communication, instant communication, you
Mhm.
know? You have to send in a letter to get any news, and if they even give you any news about your
Well,
children,
and
and
that's
you
just it. From what I was reading, they couldn't even go and visit the children. They were
no,
blocked from going to communicate with them.
and some of them like probably their children died and they didn't know about it for months,
Mhm.
you know, maybe even years. Like, you know, how do you process all that, you know? It's
I I
god
don't know.
awful, just a god awful dark part of history. And like I said, like really it needs education, needs a reform. um I've touched on it before. My son has learned about it this year in high school. But you know what? One little book and one little uh, part of the curriculum, like it's just a tiny part of the curriculum. It needs a whole lot more than that, and it needs to be more than just a small chapter in history. Like, I mean, the whole way Canada was founded and needs to be rethought, I think.
Yeah, definitely. See, being from England, I obviously learnt British history and European history, so I have no idea of all this at all. So it's very scary. There was something I was going to say. Now I'm having a senior moment. I can't remember what it was.
I swallowed my coffee wrong. Excuse me a moment.
And that
Okay.
is, and I've done that, and that's not a good feeling either when it goes down the wrong throat hole of opening.
Ah, the pleasures of live TV, eh?
How am I looking today? I feel like I'm looking really washed out. Am I?
No, you're like usual.
Really washed out? One day I'll get the lighting right. It's so difficult.
All right, well, it's time. Okay,
So today we've actually got something that Julie has been talking about for a long time.
for a few weeks now.
So I'm looking at, you did take pictures, right?
Yes.
Because we need,
Cookies by Cat, stuffed cookies.
yeah. So where did you get these from?
These were purchased at Once Upon a Coffee Shop on
And
McConnell. It's at the McConnell
medical center.
Medical Center. There's a little coffee shop in the front, and she's got so many great things. Like, I wanted to buy everything. It was like she has cookies. She's got a lot of keto stuff. I want to show my cookie that I bought the kids. It was just like you just want to buy everything. It's just it smells great, it looks great. It just she's got a lot of keto stuff, prepared meals too, that you can go, like, if you don't feel like cooking, you just go and grab a keto meal. This is the cookie that I bought.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Wow.
I bought three of those for the kids, and they were massive. Like, I'm talking about like this big a cookie, and
Wow.
they're sugar cookies, and they were just super good. I don't know who makes those, if she makes them or she's selling them for somebody else. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, yeah, like she's got a lot of keto stuff, and um
Like, does she have other stuff than food? Does she have any craft stuff, things like that too?
um
Or
she's got like mugs and little gifts, gift wares, like a little bit of everything. I should have taken a picture to show you. I didn't think of it, but it's it's like a fairy tale place. Like really, her name is great. Once Upon a Coffee Shop. It's perfect for what she does, and it's super safe. Like you go in, it's one person at a time.
Okay.
So it's one-on-one interaction, and yeah, I bought this great sugar-free barbecue sauce, and like it's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So people have been telling us about these. Like I want to show the maple. It's like a maple uh, cookie on top of it.
I like the names on it. Maggie Maple. Maggie
Magic,
Maple.
magic maple.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
magic maple.
Really,
And
Maggie
the other one
Maple.
is the Force, and
The fourth.
apparently this is inspired by Star Wars.
Oh,
So she had so many different kinds. I couldn't settle on only one. I had to buy two. Now they are a little pricey because like it's a massive cookie. Like
well, it's
it's
heavy.
really
Holy
I'm sure
heavy.
I'm gonna take like 3 bites, I'm gonna be full. So they're super massive and they're stuffed, so I don't even quite know what they're stuffed with, but
But
anyways,
they're heavy. They're
they're
not like a
super
normal
heavy.
cookie. They're
Oh
very
no.
heavy.
Yeah, super super heavy.
So which
So
one do you want to do first?
let's do the maple first.
The
I'm
Maggie.
sure it's gonna get 15 out of 10 from me.
So we're going to do the Maggie Maple?
Magic maple. Yes. All right, so let's get it out of
Oh,
the package.
I'm trying to get into it. Oh, got it.
Look at the size of this thing. Like if I put it in my hand, you can see how big it is.
I know.
Super massive. And
Wow.
all right. You ready?
Okay.
Let's go.
Mm.
Mmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mmm.
Yeah, definitely. Mm. Can you see mine? Yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh my God. This is heavenly. I hate to think how many calories in one of those.
I hate to think how many calories in those 2 bites.
Right?
Oh my goodness, that was good.
Mm. All
Wow.
right.
It's almost
Yeah,
like a whole meal if you eat the whole thing.
it is.
That was good.
It's not too sweet. It's just
No.
got a hint of maple.
Yeah,
The texture is really nice and chewy. Like
exactly.
I like my cookies chewy. I don't like
Crunchy.
crunchy. I like if I want a
Oh, that was
cracker, I'll
good.
take a cracker. That
Yeah,
was
that
really
was
good.
really good.
All
Now,
right, let's try the other one.
trying to get into it. Oh,
Me too. I can't open
this
it.
one's really well sealed. I got it.
Okay, I got it. Here we go. So I
Oh,
think there's like Smarties and
yeah.
different
I
things
see
in that one.
little red
'Cause
things in this one too. The red things, Smarties. Oh,
yeah, I got a blue
chocolate.
one right there
Oh,
and lots of chocolate. All
only
right,
red in mine. Okay, go ahead.
let's go. Mm,
I can really taste the Smartie because I took a bite of the Smartie.
I didn't, but I can taste the chocolate. It's really good. Mmm.
But
Mmm.
again, it's not too sweet.
Mm-mm.
Like you would think it would be sickly sweet because there's so much chocolate in there, but it's
It's not.
really nice. It's really, really nice because I don't like things that are overly sweet.
I think I like the maple more,
I can't
but
decide.
the chocolate is really, really good. Like I love chocolate usually, but I like the subtleness of the maple one. Bless you. Somebody sneezed.
No, I both are really good, and I can't decide which one. But I
Yeah.
just like the fact that they're not super sweet. They're just right.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
super good. I'm gonna have to give a bite to my kids to see what they think.
Wow. So how much are they each?
So which one looks better? The second one? I hate that it says Facebook user. I
Yeah,
don't know
we don't
which
know
one
who
it
it
is,
is.
who it is, but I'm got a feeling it's Lucia.
So how much are these?
Okay, so they're $5 each.
Well, it's expensive, but I think it's worth it
It is because,
because that
like I
whole
said,
cookie does can I don't think you can eat that in one sitting.
I don't think so either. I think yeah,
Wow.
two bites is enough for me. Um, but yeah, I'll give it a cookies by Cat. Cat, you just Cat. I don't know who you are, but you got
Wow.
to my heart through my stomach.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
The two
they're
of them.
awesome.
They are. Wow.
So I'll give it a 12 out of 10.
I'd have to say it's definitely over 10. I'd like to give it a 15 out of 10, but
Yeah, it's actually,
we,
you know,
we
we
could
should
even
stick
go
to
higher.
10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm gonna have to take a one more picture. So,
Wow.
yeah, they're really 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 good. Winner.
Really. It was worth waiting for because I think it took a few weeks for you to be able to get there. And
It
again,
did. But
like,
it's so easy too. Like I didn't really like what was the deterrent for me was that it was at the McConnell clinic. So I thought,
mhm.
oh, I'm gonna have to go into the parking lot and park and then come out and pay, you know. But what I did is I just went and I parked in the front and I went in right quick and I just left.
Because
So
really, you go in the front
you're
door
not
and
supposed to, but
and
you know,
it's on the left-hand side, right? It's right there when you go in the entrance.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you go from the front side, it's right to your left. So I just went in and out and yeah, you're not supposed to, but
Yeah, because
just
I remember years and years ago, it was quite a small place with very limited
I
items.
remember that
And I
too.
think once now that it's been, obviously, it sounds like it's much more than what it was. I'm going to have to actually go.
Oh yeah, it's lovely. And the meals are like I don't know if I can find her Facebook page. The meals are reasonably priced. Like I know I bought one time before I bought their they have like eggplant parmigiana, I think it was.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
And I took those like hold on, I'm just going to add to the stream here. So here are the cookies. So here she's got keto chocolate. I'm trying to find the meals. Okay, so here you go. She's got like
Oh,
these prepared meals. They're freezer. They're frozen, but then you know, so spaghetti squash lasagna. She's got eggplant. She's got keto bagels. They look
hmm.
lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots and lots of stuff, and especially if you are onto a keto diet, then you know that's the place for you because then
Mm-hmm.
you can find. And I like to do some prepared meals once in a while because I'm like, you know, cooking is a challenge. Here you go. So the prices are pretty good. Stuffed pepper for 10.50. Moussaka. I tried the moussaka too, I think.
So that's the
Stuffed
prepared
chicken.
meals.
That's the prepared meals. And the portions are quite big. So, you know, it's supposed to be for one, but they're quite big.
So
Anyway, so,
two people could eat the
oh
one
yeah.
meal, or
Oh yeah.
because really, if I'm looking at those prices, those are really, really reasonable.
Yeah, they are. It's and it's really good. So now you have it. If once upon a coffee shop on Facebook, she said you can also just text her an order and she'll put it aside for you, and you can go and pick it up.
So they're just on Facebook. There's no website, just
Mm-mm.
on Facebook.
Not
Wow.
that I know of, but no, I don't think so.
Because I think it's that's a lot better to manage because she can just post all the time.
Yeah.
She sounds like she has a lot of different things. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's great because it supports, you know, like Cookies by Cat, like it supports other small businesses as
Yeah.
well. So, It's pretty awesome.
Wow. So now we
All
have
right.
to find something interesting to eat for next week. So, or
Yes.
monkey taste test. So if anybody has any ideas, please send them to info@theseeker.ca. Let us know.
Yes, and it can even be like from a restaurant. I was thinking we should try there's this place on oh my god, it's near the Seaway News there. She's got a patio and everything.
Yeah, I know with Cold Platter
She
Catering.
yes, and she
Yeah.
does like soups and sandwiches. We could even do that one day or
Yeah.
but yeah. So send us your suggestions, info@theseeker.ca. Send us your events as well, because now that we're reopened, things are going to start happening a little bit. So if you want to go ahead
Promote.
and send us your events, you can go on our website at theseeker.ca, click on events, and then click on submit your event. It's free.
Yes, it is. And actually, I have a copy of the latest Seeker too. So if you haven't picked it up, pick it up at the Seeker office, 327 2nd Street East in the distribution box. I went and took more out to harvest on Vincent Massey yesterday because I wanted to check out the plants, and Sharon's has some too still. But now that places are opening, we will be able to put them in more places again. And this is a very special section.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of interesting facts about places you can't even talk, might not even know about.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
in the area.
So pick up your copy. There's a lot of them in the box, so you can come and get it.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling people that too, because there's so many places opening, closing. We're not sure, hours and stuff. So you can always pick them up at the Seeker office in the box. I think that's your safest bet. So.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for us, guys. Thank you for watching this morning. We'll see you next week. Have yourself a great day.
And a super duper week. Bye.
Bye.